show you how I make my air fryer chicken legs. Now, a lot of you guys aren't fans of chicken legs. I am. I also like mine to be a little bit crispy. And since this invention of the air fryer has come out, most people have gotten away from frying their stuff in grease, which I still like too. But this is just not as messy and it's super convenient. So I'm just going to show you the few steps that I use to make my famous air fried chicken. So let's get started. So first thing, you'll need a little bit of flour. This time I'm actually trying something different. I know when I use the air fryer, the flour will actually crisp up over time. But what happens is initially when you're making something in an air fryer, you have to shake the basket. And I noticed that flour is flying everywhere. But I noticed when I used the cornstarch, that didn't happen as much. So I'm going to use a little bit of both because I like the crispiness of the chicken. So again, get you some cornstarch, get you a little bit of flour. Doesn't really matter how much, just to make sure it's enough to coat your chicken. So I want to put about a fourth of what I have as far as flour into there. Then I'm going to use my little whisker just to kind of mix them together. Now, some other things that you also need too is you want to get some eggs and some cream or milk so that you can dredge your chicken legs in before you dip it into the flour cornstarch mixture, because it will let it adhere to the meat. So what I typically do, I use heavy whipping cream and I have a couple of eggs. Now here, I usually buy chicken legs that are already not frozen. That way I can seal them in 3 or 4 packs so I can have just enough for a meal or two, which is what I did here. I will make sure I link the sealer machine that I used to seal this chicken in the description of the video. This thing works amazing. So first thing you're going to do is you want to cut the seal for your chicken. It's got a little bit of moisture in it. So what I'd like to do, as you can see here, is I take some paper towels and I lay my chicken on the paper towels. Now some of you will say, why not just stick it in the dredge mixture? Yeah, I get that, but I like being able to have just the dredging material and not the water. I usually will pull my skin over the chicken. Some of you may not like it, but I actually like crispy chicken skin. Do the same thing with this leg. I will pull the skin over the meat. I'm going to do that with each leg. Wow, these are some good meaty chicken legs. All right, as far as spices, everybody has what they like in their own thing. For me, I like using salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. I like a little bit of kick, so sometimes I will use a little bit of chipotle just to give it a little bit of a kick, and a little bit of regular pepper as well. So let's get this started. So the first thing I want to do is, while these are kind of sitting on my paper towel, I'm going to mix up my dredging mixture. Take my eggs. I'm going to crack my eggs. Make sure you have a sink nearby. It makes it a lot easier. Now this is just a funny little tidbit that I want to share with you guys. So my wife grew up in the country. So you see here, this is a little bit of eggshell that fell into the egg mixture. For me, it doesn't really bother me, but for her, growing up around chickens and seeing how, the conditions that they live in, she's like, I don't care how much you clean it. The fact that that eggshell fell into the egg yolk and the white part just kind of grosses her out. Me, I don't care. Some of the garbage that we put in our bodies anyway, like if you don't know, who cares? But again, that's just my little hang up. But for her, she would not eat this if she saw this little white piece of eggshell. So I still take it out because I don't want to crunch it. So now I'm going to mix my eggs up. Add a little bit of my heavy whipping cream to it. Now what I like to do is I like to dredge my chicken in the mixture, in this mixture here, before I put my spices, because I want my spices to adhere to the chicken. Now some people will put their spices in their flour. I'm not a big fan of that, because if you put your spices in your flour, then if you measure wrong, long story short, for me, I don't think I'd get it seasoned well enough if I put my spices in the flour. Some people like to do that, shake up their chicken. For me, I don't like that. I like to dredge my chicken and then season it, and then put it in the flour and then stick it in the air fryer. Again, as you can see, I'm spreading my chicken out again. Now I'm going to dredge it. Now the reason I have the bowl is because I want to be able to set these in here so that the mixture will stay on the chicken. Because I want to make sure that it has, the spices have a way to adhere to the chicken leg itself. All right, that's 3. And then last but not least, number 4. I'm going to get my spices out, and then we're going to get seasoning this. All right, so as you can see, I have my salt, my pepper, garlic salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of the chipotle chili powder that we're going to use here. I probably will pour a little bit more of the dredging material over the chicken, because now that it's been laying in the bowl, a lot of it is run off. I'm going to pour some of it over my chicken, make sure it's good and dredged. As you can see here, it's good and dredged. I'm going to lay this down like that. I'm going to sprinkle my spices all over it. Get it to adhere to it. That's my garlic powder. Got my onion powder here. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to throw it straight into the flour mixture to coat it. Well, some will say, well, why don't you just dredge it again? I could, but the reason I don't like doing that is because I don't want the spices to come off into the dredge material, and then it kind of defeats the purpose, and the chicken doesn't taste that good. All right, so now I'm going to place this in my flour, as you can see here. Cover it up a little bit. And as you can see, by doing it this way, it allows the spices to stick to the chicken. So by the time I go to stick that in the air fryer, it tastes like, you know, the spices that I put on it. And I just, onion powder, garlic powder. I don't know about you guys, but I like onion powder and garlic powder. I like the taste of garlic. How many of you like the taste of garlic? You got to put the right amount of salt on it, or it just ain't right. A little bit of pepper, and then we're going to now, some of you may say that seems like a lot of work, a lot of overkill. For me, I want to make sure my stuff is flavored well. So I want to make sure it's covered well. And if I had just dumped my seasoning in my flour, each individual piece would not be covered that well. Guys, if you have something better, some people like to put it in a Ziploc bag and shake it and coat their stuff that way. For me, this is how I prefer to do it. And as you can see, I already got 2 of them well coated. One there, another one there. Get these last. All right, so here we go. We got our chicken dredged, air fryer. Again, I will also make sure I link that in the description below. So all you want to do is hit your power button. You have max crisp, air fry, air roast, air broil. I usually use air fry, and I'll usually add minutes to it. It's got the little basket down there to catch the grease. I just drop my legs in, shake off any excess flour. I try to arrange them so that they can cook fairly evenly. As you can see how I have them laying in there. Now we're just going to turn this on. Hit the air fryer button, start. Now you see it only starts at 20 minutes. I'm going to increase this to about 25, 26, 27 minutes because I like mine crispy. Won't burn it, but it will make it good and crispy chicken. So come back every 5-10 minutes and just take your basket and shake it a little bit. Obviously a little harder than that. And then once your timer goes off, you're done. You're ready to get your side dishes and you're ready to go. So the timer just went off, guys. So I'm going to show you what these air fryer chicken legs that are seasoned the way I told you about actually came out. Look at that. Let me grab one. They're a little hot. Just look at the crispiness of that. I almost want to bite into it right now, but it's too hot for me to do. You can almost hear the crunch. You hear that? These are going to be delicious. Bon appetit. I hope you guys tried the recipe. Once you try it, make sure you add a comment and let me know how you thought it tasted with the spices and the way that they were made. Bon appetit.
So here we go. Good and crispy with the flour. Awesome.